Hi everyone, welcome to day 10 of my 12 Days of Interactive December Dailies video series. Just a couple of housekeeping things before we get started. I will be doing all 31 days of December in my December Daily album, so I'll be doing the last 2 days of my Interactive December Dailies video series after Christmas, so sometime during the week of December 28th. I'll also be doing a flip through of my completed albums, my second album as well as my third album, once I'm done. So if you're interested in that, then stay tuned after the holidays. If you're new to my channel, be sure to subscribe for more process videos and find me on Instagram for more December daily inspiration. Today I'll be showing you how to create this pull-out pocket page that I created to document our drive around town to check out some of the cool Christmas light displays that we have here. So this ribbon just pulls out to reveal some pockets, and all of these pockets have photo mats in them, and these are all of the cool Christmas lights that we saw around town. So if you're interested in knowing how to create this pocket page, then just keep watching. Alright, so first thing that we need to do is make our pockets. So I have pre-cut some of these pieces and pre-scored them. So this piece here is 8.5 inches by 6 inches. And on the 8.5 inch side, I've scored at the 4-inch mark, as well as at the 8-inch mark, so 1/2 inch away from this edge here. And then on this side here, I've scored at 1/2 inch. So I'm going to be doing some cutting. Basically, we're going to be cutting on the 4-inch score mark here up to the 1/2 inch line. So right there. And then we're going to be trimming off all of this excess on this side here. So this is the side with the 1/2 inch tab. Maybe I'll just fold these here so that you guys can see a bit easier. So basically we made a cut there, and we're going to be cutting off this excess piece right here, so that you get a piece that looks like that. Next thing we want to do is apply score tape to this edge here, as well as this flap here. Here I'm using 3/8 inch score tape. And I'm going to be tapering my corners. So I'm going to be cutting off this extra corner here, as well as diagonally across these two intersecting score lines. And this is just so that when you fold your flaps down, like so, that you don't get an overhang on this corner when you're making your pocket. So before I tape down my piece, I'm going to punch kind of like a half circle here, just so that it's easier to pull out whatever's in this pocket. So before I do that, I'll need to use some patterned paper to cover the front of this. This is just using the Cocoa Daisy. I had cut apart some of the Traveler's Notebook papers, and this piece is measured 3 3/4 inch by 5 1/4 inch. So basically it's just 1/4 inch shorter than this here, and 1/4 inch shorter here, so that you get a nice border around that piece. Just a quick note that all of the pattern papers that I'm using today are from Cocoa Daisy's Cranberry Rose collection. Next, I'm going to mark where the center of this area here is, so that I can punch my circle and it'll be centered. And I'm going to use my Martha Stewart circle punch. This is I think this is a 1 inch, yeah, it's a 1 inch circle punch, just to punch out a notch here. You might notice that on my punch, I've actually used a permanent marker to mark where the center of this circle is vertically, so that when I'm punching on a page, I can just, you'll see that I have a pencil mark there. I can just line up the pencil mark center with the center of this punch so that I can make sure that the circle is properly centered on the page. Now that we have that done, we can remove the tape backing and tape our pocket shut. All right, so I also have created 3 other pockets for that because I have 4 photos that I want to include, and they're going to be kind of staggered, like so. So the next thing that we need is a piece of ribbon. I have here one from my stash. It needs to be at least about 15 inches long. If you're not sure, you can always like leave it on the spool first before you, and glue your pieces down before you cut it. So what we're going to do is we're going to start at one end and mark every 3/4 of an inch. So I made 10 marks on my ribbon here, but I only really needed 9 marks. If you make an extra mark, don't worry about it. This ribbon won't actually be seen from the front of the pocket page until the very end of that ribbon. So don't worry about making extra marks or if your marks are a bit messy. So the next thing we want to do is apply some score tape, and we're going to be applying kind of like alternating sections. So this first section here will have score tape followed by no score tape followed by no score tape, etc. So I'll continue to use my 3/8 inch score tape here. The score tape was a bit harder to apply onto the ribbon compared to usually I put it on paper, but I do find that the score tape helps adhere paper to ribbon a lot better than using other types of adhesives, so that's why I used score tape here. All right, so the next thing that we're going to do is apply our pockets to the bottom edge of these score tape here, and we're going to make sure that this is centered on the ribbon here. Just make sure not to apply anything to this first mark here because that's what's going to be attached to the pocket page that we have. So I did realize while doing this that it is a lot easier if you actually apply the back pocket first, so the pocket that's closest to the top of the ribbon, because then you can just kind of line them up sequentially downwards, as opposed to here I'm trying to make sure that it's lining up with the pocket that I attached previously and then making sure that the ribbon is still centered, and it just takes a bit more work. All right, so the next thing I'm going to do is assemble my pocket onto my page. So my base page here is the same size as a Citrus Twist Life Crafted Album page protector. So this is 5 inches by 8 and 3/8 of an inch, and I've punched the holes here. I've also created kind of like a pocket here already. So to do this, what I did was I cut a piece that was 6 1/4 inches. And this was a bit taller, like this was about 8 1/2 inches there. And I scored on the bottom here at 1/2 inch. The sides I scored at, I'll have to fold these so that you can see easier. So I made 3 score marks on each side. So one was at 1/2 inch, and then 1/4 inch in from there, and then another 1/4 inch in from there. Same thing on this side, so 1/2 inch, 1/4 inch in, and then another 1/4 inch in, so that you have 1, 2, 3 score marks on each side. The next thing I did was I used this, this is from Lawn Fawn, and this is the Stitched Mountains border set, and I just die cut the top edge here, and it leaves like a really nice stitched detail. I did cut out as well some of the snow-capped pieces from the same die set, and they're just going to go on top here. Here I'm just using my Zig 2-way glue pen to apply the snow caps onto my mountains. I just find this glue pen is really good for detailed gluing. I did also apply score tape to all 3 edges here. And so next thing we're going to do is cut off this corner piece here. So I'm going to start by cutting off the corner that is closest to like these 2 intersecting lines here. We might have to cut off more later. And then we'll just fold these flaps down. So the extra score marks here just create like a gusset, because this piece that we created is a bit thick. So I wanted to have a gusset just so that we have a bit of extra room so that it still fits into this pocket. So that's going to be like an accordion fold. Like so. We'll do the same on the other side. So you can see here that if we were to fold the flap down, we would have quite a bit of overhang here. So I'm actually just going to taper more of this corner here. So I'm going to start here and then cut diagonally across there. Whenever you're tapering the corners, you just want to make sure that you're not cutting into the last score line here, as well as into the last score line here. So make sure that you're cutting on the outside of those score lines. So you can see that now that layer's a bit flatter, and I'm good with that. I also see that one of my mountain pieces, the pocket that was folded over kind of like overhangs here. So I'm just going to cut off that edge right there so that you can't see it when we glue the pocket down. The next thing we're going to do is put this into our pocket. So I want to make sure that the top of the pocket here, the last pocket here, so what I've done is just collapse the pockets together. So this is a ribbon, so it's quite easy to do. Just line them up like so. Before we do that, I might just want to create the top part of my pullout here before we glue this down. Yeah, I think I'll do that. So, because when this is, so basically this is going to be inside this pocket here, and we're going to, I'll just do a quick demo. So this ribbon here will be glued to the inside of the pocket, so that when you pull the ribbon, these photo mats will come out like so. So we want to make sure that the ribbon is long enough that we can see it peeking behind the mountains. I also, this came in the Cocoa Daisy kit, and I just disassembled the ribbon from the paper clip here, so I might put that on top of the ribbon there, just so that adds a bit of interest to the page as well. So I'll just cut the ribbon at approximately there. Next thing I want to do is make sure that this ribbon is fully adhered to the back and that it is centered onto here. So I'm actually just gonna put some more score tape on there. I'll leave the ribbon to the side, the bow to the side. We'll decide if we want to do that later. So next I'm going to just position the page such that the top of the pockets here don't go over the mountain edge. Actually, I'm just going to, I've printed out my photos already and put them on some photo mats. So I'm just going to put those in just so that I can make sure they're not overhanging the mountain edge here. So once this is in a pocket, then we can pull it out like so to look at all our photos. So next thing I want to do is attach this pocket to our base page. How we're going to do that is make sure that our gusset fits. You can see that the all the pockets fit into the gusset here, and this will just fold up like so. So we'll take our base page here, and I'm just going to do this just because this has like quite a bit of bulk. I'm going to just apply the bottom flap down first, and then I'll adhere the other two sides, just so that I can make sure that I have everything in place. This process did take a bit of maneuvering because I wanted to make sure that like the back of the pocket that's going to be adhered onto the base page, that the pockets aren't in the way of those pieces of score tape. So I just did a bit of maneuvering and made sure that everything was straight before I took off those backing pieces. All right, the next thing that I have here is I've pre-cut some cut files from, this is from Paige Evans, and it's her, she did like a 25 days of Christmas cut files, and this was one of the cut files. So this was actually part of a long strip of other trees, and I just cut 2 of them because I just need 2 of them to go on the backs here. And then I also cut this house shape. I'll leave the link to these files down below, but this one had 3 houses attached, but I only needed 1 house, so I cut the rest of them off. You'll also notice that the tops of these are kind of shiny. So the reason why that is because I had actually laminated the paper, the cardstock, before I ran it through the cutting machine, because my cutting machine blade is really dull and it just cannot handle cutting just cardstock. Like, it'll start pulling at the papers. So I would strongly encourage you not to laminate your papers, actually, because even though it kind of provides a more substantial piece, it's a lot harder to back because the laminate on the back is also, like, it's slippery. So it's really hard to put glue on that, I realized. But that was the only way that I could get my cutting machine to work. So these will just go on the bottom here and it will look cute. So just for reference, these cut files that were from Paige Evans, it's her 25 Days of Christmas Cut Files 2020 series. The Christmas trees are from day 5 and it's called Christmas Trees. And the house shape was from Winter Village and that was day 16. So that finishes up today's page. So again, we can pull the ribbon, which reveals 4 pockets that have photo mats in them. So what I'll end up doing is I have another page that is in my album facing this way, and I'll probably add my journaling as well as my date number there. But I hope you enjoyed that video. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave a comment down in the comments below. And if you like this video, then make sure you hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more December daily inspiration. This is going to be my last page that I'm uploading before Christmas, and I'll be back on maybe Monday or the week of December 28th for more videos. Thanks very much for watching.